All right, so we've got a ton to unpack today about the state of crypto.
Yeah, looks like we're at a crossroads with some of these major coins.
Definitely. And you sent over a really fascinating mix of articles.
Well, I thought it would be good to look at what's going on with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP.
Those are the big ones everybody wants to know about.
For sure, but there's also this newcomer, Pluto Chain, making some pretty big claims.
And we can't forget about that Bybit hack.
No, absolutely not. That's a big one.
Yeah, a $1.5 billion Ethereum heist.
It really does make you think about security in the crypto world.
For sure. So let's start with the symmetrical triangle patterns you mentioned.
Right, those are forming on the price charts of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP.
What exactly does that mean?
It's a sign that the market is indecisive.
So like it could go either way.
Exactly, and it could be a big move too.
Kind of like that recent Dow Jones sell-off.
Yeah, that one happened after a similar pattern.
So it's making some people nervous.
Understandably. But before we get into the specifics of each coin, we really should talk about that Bybit hack.
Okay, let's do that.
I mean, $1.5 billion from Ethereum's cold wallet.
That's got to shake things up.
Oh, absolutely. It raises some serious questions about security.
Especially for these big exchanges.
Yeah, I mean, the technology behind crypto is amazing, but...
It's not perfect.
Right, it's still vulnerable.
Okay, so how does this hack affect the overall market? Especially with Bitcoin being where it is.
Good point. It definitely adds to the uncertainty.
Bitcoin's right around that $96,400 resistance level.
If it breaks through, we could see it go to $100,000.
That'd be huge.
Huge win for the bulls. But if it drops below $90,320, it could trigger a much bigger correction.
What are we talking, like how much?
It's hard to say for sure, but it could be significant.
So Bitcoin's kind of in a make or break moment.
Yeah, you could say that these psychological levels are so important.
They're like magnets for traders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that can really amplify those price movements.
So Bitcoin's playing a high stakes game right now.
You got it. So what about Ethereum? It's been in that triangle pattern for even longer than Bitcoin.
Since November 2021, right?
Right? That's a long time.
Makes you wonder if it could be an even bigger breakout.
Well, that's the theory. The longer the consolidation...
The more powerful the release.
Exactly. If Ethereum can break through $3,110...
we could see it move towards $3,638.
That's the potential target. But the question is...
does it have enough momentum after being flat for so long?
That's what we need to find out.
Okay, and then there's XRP.
Oh yeah, XRP. Also stuck in a triangle pattern.
But it also has that SEC lawsuit hanging over its head.
Right. That's a big factor.
You've been following this case closely, right?
I have. It's definitely something to keep in mind.
So what's the outlook for XRP?
It's facing resistance around $2.60.
Okay.
If it breaks through that, it could retest its January high.
Which was?
$3.10. But if it drops below $2...
that's not good.
no, it could trigger a big sell-off.
And with the SEC case...
the stakes are even higher.
So XRP's future is kind of up in the air.
For sure. But there is some good news.
Oh.
Brazil just approved the world's first XRP ETF.
That's got to be good for XRP, right?
It is. It could really boost adoption and price.
So even with the SEC case...
there's still positive momentum.
okay, so XRP's got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's a bit of a roller coaster.
Okay, so let's talk about this newcomer Pluto Chain.
All right, this one's interesting.
They're claiming to be the solution to Bitcoin's scalability problem.
He claims.
Lightning fast transactions, super low fees.
It almost sounds too good to be true.
So is it just hype?
Well, Pluto Chain is building a layer 2 solution for Bitcoin.
Layer 2, what's that?
Basically, it's a separate network on top of Bitcoin's blockchain.
So it's like an add-on.
In a way, yeah. It lets them handle transactions more efficiently.
Without slowing down the main Bitcoin network.
Exactly. It's like a turbocharger for Bitcoin.
I like that analogy.
And here's the really interesting part.
What's that?
Pluto Chain is also compatible with Ethereum.
So you could use Bitcoin in DeFi applications.
Exactly. And trade NFTs, too.
Wow, so it's making Bitcoin more versatile.
And more user-friendly.
Okay, so Pluto Chain is trying to take Bitcoin to the next level.
Trying to. But let's not forget about the meme coins.
Oh yeah, Dogecoin's still out there.
Still has a loyal following.
Could it ever reach those crazy highs again?
It's hard to say. Meme coins rely on hype.
And social media trends.
Right. But for a cryptocurrency to really succeed...
it needs more than just hype.
right. It needs real-world utility.
And a strong development team.
And a clear plan for the future.
So Dogecoin's future is kind of uncertain.
Yeah, a gamble.
Okay, speaking of long-term vision...
Ripple's been making moves with their liquidity hub.
I was just going to ask about that.
They're trying to revolutionize cross-border payments.
Make it faster and cheaper to send money internationally.
Exactly.
That's the goal.
But isn't Ripple facing some major challenges?
Oh, absolutely. The regulatory landscape is a big one.
And their reliance on partnerships.
Adds another layer of complexity.
So it's a race against time for Ripple. You could say that. But before we get too deep into those weeds,
Good idea.
let's hear what some XRP experts have to say.
Okay, so we've got contrasting opinions from within the XRP community.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, so let's take a quick break.
Sounds good.
And when we come back, we'll dive into those expert opinions.
And try to make sense of this crypto puzzle.
Sounds like a plan. All right, so we've got a lot of tension in the market with, Bitcoin being right on the edge and Ethereum just kind of sitting there, and then XRP with this lawsuit.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of.
It is. But before we get to those XRP experts you mentioned, let's go back to Bitcoin for a sec.
Sure.
You said it's dancing around that $96,400 resistance level.
Right, that's a key level.
What happens if it breaks through?
A move above that could send it towards $100,000.
That's what everybody's hoping for?
Yeah, it would be a huge psychological win for the bulls.
But if it doesn't break through...
If it drops below $90,320, we could see a wave of selling.
So it really is a make or break moment.
It is. And those key levels...
Like $100,000?
They really do act as magnets for traders.
So it's not just about the charts.
Right. It's also about market psychology.
And news events.
Oh, yeah. Like that Bybit hack.
That definitely added to the uncertainty.
Absolutely. These events can really spook the market.
Okay, so it's not just lines on a chart.
No, it's a whole story unfolding.
Okay, so what about Ethereum? You said it's been consolidating for years.
Yeah, since November 2021.
That's a long time.
It is. And if it breaks out...
Where could it go?
Well, the next major resistance is around $3,110.
Okay.
It can get past that.
Then what?
We could see a move towards $3,638.
Oh, wow.
But remember, it's already faced rejection at that level a few times.
So it's not a sure thing.
Definitely not. It's a waiting game.
Okay, so Ethereum's trying to climb that wall.
We'll see if it can make it.
And you mentioned some support levels for Bitcoin.
Right.
If it drops below $90,320.
Things could get ugly.
What are the levels to watch?
Below $90,320, we have support around $87,200. Okay. Then $81,900 and even $75,884.
Those are pretty far down.
Yeah, but they represent previous areas of support.
So buyers might step in.
That's the hope. Okay, let's move on to XRP.
All right, XRP, it's got its own triangle pattern.
It does, but it also has that SEC lawsuit.
Which adds a whole other layer of complexity.
Definitely. So right now, XRP is around $2.60.
That's the resistance level.
If it breaks through that, we could see it test $2.85.
And maybe even $3.10.
That was its January high. But if it drops below $2...
Things could go south?
Yeah, that's a major support level.
What makes it so important?
Technically, it's held firm several times in the past.
Okay.
But it's also a psychological level.
Those round numbers.
That can trigger panic selling.
All right, so XRP's in a precarious position.
You could say that. So let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about Pluto Chain.
This is the layer 2 solution for Bitcoin.
Right.
Can you explain that in simple terms?
Sure. Imagine Bitcoin's blockchain as a highway.
Okay.
As more people use Bitcoin, the highway gets congested.
Traffic jam.
Exactly. That leads to slower transactions and higher fees.
Makes sense.
So Pluto Chain builds a separate highway on top.
An express lane.
Exactly. It lets them process transactions more efficiently.
Without bogging down the main Bitcoin network.
That's the idea.
And they're compatible with Ethereum too.
That's the cool part.
So Bitcoin could be used in DeFi applications.
And for NFTs.
And even for everyday purchases.
With lightning fast speeds.
That would be a game changer.
It could be. But let's see if they can deliver.
Okay, and what about those meme coins?
Dogecoin, the official MAGA coin.
Can they achieve that same level of utility?
That's the challenge. Meme coins rely on hype.
And social media.
But for long-term success.
You need more than that.
Real-world use cases, strong development teams, active communities.
It's a high bar.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Ripple's liquidity hub.
This is supposed to revolutionize cross-border payments.
That's the goal.
What are they actually trying to do?
We want to make it faster, cheaper, and more efficient to send money across borders.
Like sending an email.
Exactly. It could have a huge impact on businesses and individuals.
But they're facing some headwinds, right?
Oh, yeah. Regulatory challenges, reliance on partnerships.
It's a tough road.
It is.
Wow.
But if they can pull it off...
It could be huge.
Definitely. Okay, so let's finally get to those XRP experts.
David Schwartz and John Deaton.
They have some interesting things to say.
Okay, let's hear it. All right, so we've talked about Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP,
And Pluto chain even.
meme coins too.
We've covered a lot of ground.
So what's the big takeaway? What does this all mean for the average crypto investor?
Well, I think the main thing to remember is that the crypto market is constantly changing.
It's like a living thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's driven by so many different factors.
It's hydrocalology, regulation,
Politics. So it's not just about the numbers,
No, you have to understand the whole story.
the narrative.
Right, take Bitcoin, for example.
It's been flirting with that $100,000 level for a while now.
Those psychological levels can be really powerful,
They can create a lot of hype and a lot of fear, too.
especially when you add in news events like the Bybit hack.
That definitely rattled the market.
In Ethereum, it's been consolidating for so long.
Since November 2021.
Makes you wonder if it's building up to something big.
Like a coiled spring?
But the question is whether it can maintain that momentum after a breakout.
That's the key.
And then there's XRP.
Oh yeah, XRP is stuck between a rock and a hard place,
It's got the Brazilian ETF approval,
which is a big deal,
but it also has the SEC lawsuit.
which is a major hurdle.
So it's kind of a tug of war,
You could say that. And then we had projects like Pluto Chain.
trying to solve Bitcoin scalability problems,
They could be a game changer,
making Bitcoin faster, cheaper, and more versatile.
opening up a lot of new possibilities.
But then we have the meme coins.
Dogecoin, the official MAGA coin.
They might be fun to trade.
But their long-term value is questionable.
You really have to be careful with those.
Do your research.
And remember that hype can be dangerous.
Definitely. So I guess the main takeaway is that,
Crypto is complicated.
yeah, there's no easy answer.
You have to stay informed
And be prepared for anything.
because the market can change in an instant.
Absolutely. So stay curious, stay vigilant,
And most importantly,
do your own research.
that's it for our deep dive into the world of crypto,
We hope you found it informative,
and maybe even a little bit exciting.
because crypto is definitely an exciting space to be in.
So until next time,
Keep learning, keep exploring.
and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.